Today, devotees only who are coming from last 8, 9 years from the day Vrindavan started. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I've been there with Vrindavan for last 7, 8 years. I requested them to join so that they can hear from you, get motivation, inspiration to serve in Mysore and support the Mysore Yatra. So really, really thankful for you to spend time with smaller congregation in Mysore. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm very, very happy to be with you and all of you. Unfortunately, I have not been able to come physically to Mysuru for several years now. Um, so I'm happy that I got this opportunity online. I did have a class with all of you, I think 2 or 3 months ago, if I'm not wrong. And you all look very bright and Krishna conscious and eager to take ahead Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So I'll just start with some Mangalacharan because that is our custom. We have to start with the auspicious invocation of Krishna's holy names and some mantras. And Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu has already chanted the holy name. So in that sense, auspiciousness is already there. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today I want to speak briefly on a very important topic that is very relevant to all of us in Krishna consciousness and specifically to every community of devotees. And you are also a very nice developing community of devotees. I have been seeing all of you for many years. So naturally, everything that we discuss is going to be relevant not only to all of you, but also to many others, many other similar communities. So first of all, I think in every community, you need someone who leads the way, isn't it? By the way, English is good, isn't it? Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu.
Yeah, Maharaj, everyone understands English.
I don't speak Kannada, so yeah, okay. So it all starts, with, well, before we get to that, let me see that even to understand the importance of Krishna consciousness, to even know about the goal of life, to understand what is the perfection of human life, we need the association of devotees. So this is actually the greatest gift that we can ever receive in our life, which is the association of devotees. Please do not think this is an exaggeration. It is not an overestimation. It is actually the fact that the association of devotees is the most precious gift that we can receive in our life. Because it is only in the association of devotees that all auspicious things can happen, that the ultimate goal of life can be attained. Now, we may think, well, why is it being said that the association of devotees is the most important? Isn't the chanting of the holy name the most important thing? Isn't the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita the most important thing? Isn't worshipping Lord Krishna's deity the most important thing? So why is it being said that the association of devotees is the most important thing? And the very simple answer is that without the association of devotees, not only can we not know the importance of these other things, but we will also not know how to attain them. We will not know how to practice these things. And we will not get the inspiration and the guidance and the support that we need in our long journey for spiritual perfection. So therefore, it is the association of devotees that makes us understand all these things, and it gives us a very happy journey as we go along. Especially in Kali Yuga, it is not possible to traverse the spiritual path on one's own. That perhaps was possible in the earlier ages, like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and so on, where sages would go deep into the forest and they would be alone for 60,000 years, 70,000 years. But that kind of thing is unimaginable in this day and age. Even to be alone for a short time seems like such a punishment. It is not possible. So, in Kali Yuga, it is the association of devotees that actually gives strength. Sanghe Shakti Kalau Yuge. So it is in Kali Yuga, it is a Sangha of devotees that gives strength. By strength, it doesn't mean only physical strength or material strength, but primarily the reference is to spiritual strength. To progress on the spiritual path, therefore, it is very important for us to have the association of devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us 64 items of sadhana bhakti. And amongst these 64 items, he has mentioned 5 items that are the most important, which he has repeated at the end. Without looking into your Google, can any of you tell me what the verse is in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned the 5 most important limbs of sadhana bhakti amongst the 64? If any of you want to say, you can raise your hands, or you can unmute yourself and say it. Okay, it's fine. So I'll say it. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathura Vasa, Shri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevana. So I'll repeat that. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathura Vasa, Shri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevana. He says these 5 things are the most important. And amongst all, Sakala Sadhana Shrestha E Pancha Anga. He says amongst all forms of sadhana, these 5 are the most important. Krishna Prema Janmai E Pachir Alpasanga. So if we come into even slight contact with any of these 5, Krishna Prem, love for Krishna, will awaken within our hearts easily. So these five are: number one, sadhu sangha, which means association of devotees. Number two, nama kirtan, which is the congregational chanting of the holy names. Bhagavata shravan, which means to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vas means to reside in Mathura or Vrindavan or in a holy place. And Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana means to faithfully serve the deity of Lord Krishna. So these are the five most important elements of devotional service according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And which is the first one?
Sadhu
Sadhu
Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha, which means the association of devotees. That is the most critical thing. So it is not just by chance that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned this first. It is because it is in the association of devotees in Sadhu Sangha that we can do all the other things, and we realize the importance of that. So when devotees start getting together to hear and chant about Krishna and to serve Krishna, naturally more and more people start coming. They start getting attracted to the messages, to the devotees, to the service of Lord Krishna. And then gradually, the number of devotees grows. That is natural. And as it grows, then there is need to get things organized. Because otherwise things will become chaotic. So then somebody has to do cooking, someone has to do worship, someone has to do cleaning of the room and setting up of the Vyasasana, someone has to arrange the speakers. So many services have to be done, and someone has to oversee and coordinate how all these things are done. And gradually, as it grows even further, it becomes more complicated because more and more new people start coming, and then the ones who've been there for some time, they also are there. And the ones who've been there from the beginning, they also are there. So it is interesting that whether it is our ISKCON movement as a whole worldwide, or whether it is a small portion of the ISKCON movement in a particular place, they all go through a certain curve. They all grow in a certain way. In the initial phase, it is a pioneering phase where, there is no devotee and just a couple of devotees come and they start preaching and they start having lectures and kirtans and so on and so forth. And in Mysore, our Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu and his good wife, Divya Shakti Mataji, have done this service, and they have been the pioneering people for this community of devotees. And they have been ably helped from the beginning by their two daughters, Akinchana, Vrinda, who were very small when it started, and also by many of you who have been there from the early days. So with the joint, cooperative, sincere working of all of you, your community of devotees is growing and growing. And when you grow, then you come out of the pioneering phase. When you're in the pioneering phase, then everything is like a small family because there are very few people, number one. So it's like one small, very well-knit family. That's the first point. And the second point is that there is a kind of euphoria about the preaching and Krishna consciousness. And because as people come in contact with Krishna consciousness, there is great enthusiasm to preach more, to contact more devotees, and so on. And so as time goes on, however, so then things start getting familiar. And we start thinking, oh, I am familiar now. So that euphoria that was there initially starts coming down. And also the third thing that naturally happens is that as the number of devotees newcomers as well as old ones grows, the little kind of tension comes up because the attention now has to be given to the new devotees and the middle devotees. And the older devotees start feeling, oh, that personal touch is not there anymore. And so they start getting a little disappointed. So this kind of thing, it happens in every devotee community. And it has happened here in Belgaum also. The devotees initially, when they came together, it was all like one family. They were completely euphoric, in great ecstasy, and they would meet so regularly. But as gradually as the number of devotees increases, it becomes very difficult for the leading devotees to give personal attention to everybody. And slowly things start becoming a little impersonal, in the sense that it is not possible to give personal attention to every single devotee. Now, this happens every temple, even in Chowpatty. Their old timers will always remember, oh, it was such a nice time there. We were all like one small family. Our yatras, the biggest of the yatras was 100 people. Now the yatras are 10,000 people. So, but that time, 100 people, devotees used to be there, and everyone used to be like a very tightly knit family. But now, with thousands of devotees, it's not possible. So, every community goes through this kind of a curve. So, I don't know how the situation is with you, but I'm sure something like that may be happening, or it will happen sooner or later if it is not happening now, when it crosses a certain stage. So, in developing a community of devotees, these are things that we need to keep in mind. The older devotees, older, I mean, not in age, but in terms of those who have been associated with the community from the beginning or for a longer period of time, you should all now start taking more responsibility for caring for those who have come after you. So, a kind of pyramid builds up. You know what a pyramid is? It is of this shape, triangular shape. So those who started, the leaders there at the top, because they started the preaching, then around them some smaller number of devotees come around, maybe 4, 5, 10, whatever number. And then they care for others, and then grows and grows, and there's a big base. So all the devotees now must start caring for other devotees. And we should try to keep that personal touch alive even as the community grows. And having this personal touch is not always possible only for 1 or 2 devotees, or 3 or 4 or 5 devotees. All the leading devotees who have been around for some years should come together and participate in this. Just like in a family, you know. Every community of devotees is like a family. So initially, when there is a small family, it's okay in the house, husband, wife are there. Then some, let's say 2, 3 children are born. Then they grow up. Then they get married. They also have children, then like that. So, and if there are staying in a joint family, then you can't expect the grandfather to give personal attention to everything. So they all share the responsibility. That is how it happens traditionally also. Even in the Gurukulas, the traditional Gurukulas in education, what happened was the Acharya, the Gurukula, used to teach the senior students. And to some degree, he would spend time with the younger people. And then the senior boys and girls, they would take care of those under them, and it was distributed. So here also, in a development of a community, that personal care, the devotee care, the responsibility for that should be shared by all those devotees, especially who have been around from the beginning or from the early days of the project, of the community. And in this way, it will be possible to keep that family spirit alive. So all the devotees who are, so how many devotees are you here? 32. I see 32 on the list, but some of you are in the same family, I suppose, in different screens. So maybe there's 25, 20, I don't know. Uh, so maybe 20, 25 families, I suppose you are. So that's very nice. So that means that um, a very special responsibility is there on you. Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu asked, so do you want to address all the devotees who come, like 100 or something? Or would you like to speak with the smaller group, those who have been coming for a longer time? So I said, I'll come for the smaller group. Because generally for the newer devotees, they are pampered a little bit, no? That is the way it goes. Just like in a house also, the smaller children are pampered. The older children start feeling, why the attention is not being given to me. Isn't it? It happens in every family. So the parents have to be a little cautious. When the second child comes, third child comes, they have to be a little careful about this. So similarly in a devotee community also. So when the attention is given, then it has to be shared. So for all of you now that needs that care from the beginning, generally the practice is that the new people are looked at more because their devotional creeper is more tender. They can get upset very easily. Something small here and there happens, someone says something, someone does something, they feel disturbed and they may even leave Krishna consciousness. So therefore, the newer devotees are generally given more attention in all temple communities worldwide in ISKCON. I remember there used to be one devotee in America. So when I went the one time, he said he had taken to Krishna consciousness for many years. He was around for like 20 years or something. So then he was asked, why haven't you, moved in and become more serious? And so he said, when you become serious, then uh, now the level of attention paid to you is not the same. When you're kind of new, not so serious, everybody pays attention to you. So I want to remain at this level. So I said, no, that's not the way to go. You have to move and advance in your spiritual life. You can't just be wanting attention. You have to now start giving attention to others. You can't just want to take care of, be taken care of. Now you should start taking care of others so that they will also progress in their spiritual life. So then I had a long chat with him and advised him that now he has to take things very seriously, not to be a casual devotee. So, like this, in the community of devotees, that bond has to be very strong, like a family. And everybody takes responsibility. In a small family of 4, 5, 6 people, if only one person is doing everything or two people, then it becomes very strenuous and stressful. So even the children can participate. Even the children, and they will say, okay, you go and keep this vessel here. Okay, you bring this from the shop below. Or you do little small household chores they can do. Okay, today you will clean the kitchen, or you will do this. So everybody participates in whatever degree they can. And then everyone is happy as a family. So similarly, in the devotee family also, in the community, yes, in terms of rendering services like kirtan, class, all that is definitely there. But also in terms of the service of taking care of the newer devotees, that is very important. So that is how a devotee community develops. It starts with a few people, then it starts growing, and then growing and growing. And then progressively, those who become devotees, now they have to start looking after those who became devotees after them. And even amongst the others, the peers, those who became devotees together, they should also look after each other. So like today, some people devotees were in contact with me, and something happened and they said, thank you very much, Maharaj, thank you. So I said, don't tell me thank you so much. We are part of one family. So we have to be there for each other. So you don't have to keep on thanking me like this, because we are one family. And in one family, we have to be there for each other in good times, in bad times, in all times, in Krishna consciousness, so that we can progress. So, like that, this must be the mood that must be there. And ultimately, all of this is based on Krishna conscious hearing and chanting. So, this is a very important point, that to the extent that we are chanting the holy name nicely in japa, in kirtan, to the extent we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly, and to the extent we are hearing Krishna conscious lectures, and very importantly, to the extent that we are in a mood of humble service to all the devotees, to that extent the devotee community will flourish. This attitude is very important, that I am the servant of the devotees and I must serve everybody and the mission in that mood. That is called the service mood or the service attitude. So this is the most important thing. I may have mentioned to you in one of my earlier classes also that Srila Prabhupada in the preface to Nectar of Instruction says that advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Very important point. I'll repeat that. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Now, I would like 3 or 4 of you, one after the other, to say this sentence without looking into your notes, in case you have been making notes. So you can unmute yourself and please say this one sentence.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please say.
Advancement in Krishna conscious depends on the attitude behind.
Whose attitude?
Our attitude.
Yes. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Very nice, correct. Thank you. Any second devotee would like to say?
Yes, Prabhuji. Advancement. Yes, go ahead.
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Advancement in Krishna consciousness will depend on the attitude of the follower.
Very nice. Good. Any other devotee?
Advancement in the Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower.
Wonderful. One last devotee, final.
Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends upon the attitude of the follower.
Very nice, very nice. Tumba chennagide. So this is really it. This is at the heart of development of our Krishna consciousness, of the development of our devotee community. It is our attitude. Our attitude should be, I am the servant of the devotees of Krishna. And I must be in this humble mood of service to assist the devotees in whichever way possible, so that this community of devotees may flourish and there can be more and more Krishna consciousness and more people can be attracted to Krishna's service. And I am willing to do anything and everything that is required. And now I will sacrifice myself. I will try to serve without expectation. Earlier, I was being taken care of. Now I will take care of others. And remember, the more we take care of others, we will be taken care of also. It's a very important point. Sometimes, I've had some devotees coming to me in various places and saying they have some difficulty in their interpersonal relationships in the devotee community. Someone doesn't get along, something happens, sometimes. And one devotee said, this actually several devotees have told me this at different times over the years, that, nobody loves me. Have you heard this? Nobody loves me among the devotee community. So I said, there is a very magical formula for this, magic formula. The magic formula is you start loving others. Automatically you will get the love. Don't always expect that others should love you, others should take care of you, others should treat you very nicely. Of course, they should and they will. But if we start loving others, taking care of others, appreciating others, helping others, supporting others, then automatically those same things will start happening to us via so many devotees. So this is the key. So we should share these positive things with everybody, taking care of other devotees, and then see the magic that happens. Already a lot of magic has happened in your community. You have come into a nice group like this. And right from day one, Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu and Divya Shakti Mataji and those of you who are assisting them closely for a long time, you have worked so hard to build up a community. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, it takes buckets of blood, sweat and blood to make even one person a devotee. Because you have to spend so much time preaching to that devotee, dealing with that devotee's issues and problems, and answering questions and engaging that person and keeping that person happy in Krishna consciousness. So much time, energy, anxiety goes in all this. So all of you now together should share this anxiety. You are already doing it. And I'm very thankful to you for doing that, for assisting Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu and Divya Shakti Mataji so nicely. Please continue doing that and keep these principles in mind, and you will see that your community of devotees will flourish more and more. So I think I will stop here because I wanted to give a shorter lecture. And Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu, is that okay with a shorter lecture now and have more of
Yes,
questions and answers and discussion, etc.?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes? Okay, so if any of you want to ask any questions or anything, you may please raise your hand electronically and then you can speak. So Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu, you can identify those who are raising their hands electronically and then they can ask the question.
Apathy Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I have one question. I see whenever when I have seen you during the lectures or in Vrindavan, that you have a smiling face always. But it is very difficult for being a person to maintain that at times, because if you are being a devotee, at times you'll get affected by a lot of things that are happening. So how you maintain that calm and composure while speaking and while having a discussion?
Because I see wonderful devotees like you and I feel happy. So when you see nice devotees around you, automatically you feel happy. So when we are in devotee community, automatically we are satisfied. Right? But at the same time, another thing that is very important for us, again, it is connected to the point I said about attitude, Prabhupada's quote. We should always have positive attitude. We should always be optimistic. There is much negativity in this material world. This material world is full of negativity. It is, after all, dukkha layam ashashvatam. So a lot of negativity will be there on a daily basis in our life, not on a weekly basis, daily basis, and sometimes maybe hourly basis. So negativity is there all around us. So despite all of that, we should remain positive, optimistic. We should generate positive energy. We should not get carried away by the negativity around us. That negativity may come because of events that happen in our lives. Say somebody's had a sickness, or somebody's had a financial loss, or whatever, something like that. Or it can be because of some devotees or some individuals exhibiting some negative qualities. So whatever be the cause, negativities will be there. So we must always try to be optimistic and positive. Look at the positive side of things. We are so fortunate that we have Krishna consciousness with us. So even if some little negativity is there, some problems come, it's part of life. But we must move ahead in that positive spirit, and we must generate that positive energy around us so that others also become positive. So if you train yourself to become positive and optimistic by nature, you will automatically generate that positivity around you. See, for one who wants to complain, there is no shortage of reasons. You will always find reasons to complain. Anywhere, in any situation, if somebody has that attitude of wanting to complain, there'll be plenty of opportunity. So a positive-minded devotee is not always in the mood of complaining. Although the devotee may recognize that there are problems and they need to be dealt with and addressed. They have to be dealt with, but still retaining a positive mindset. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You also remain smiling, huh? Always.
Yeah, Apratim Prabhu is always smiling, Maharaj.
So a
Always.
smile doesn't cost you anything. You don't lose any money. Okay. Neither is it bad for health. Actually, it is very good for health. No?
Yes, Maharaj.
Deepika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, how to grow in Bhakti, even though we have so many responsibilities? How to stay positive in family life?
Yes.
How many
Important question.
negative vibes are around us?
Yes. Part of that question was answered in the earlier question, answer that I gave. So just keep that in mind. And that is your answer. So the answer to the previous question is also the answer to your question. At the same time, remember that everybody has responsibilities in life.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Your health. Everybody has multiple responsibilities. And we are like juggling between all of them. So we have to use our intelligence to how to manage our time and energy, which is limited, so that we can do justice to all the responsibilities. A perfect solution may not be there, but as close to that as possible. And remember that your responsibility to Krishna is also a very important responsibility. So do all your other responsibilities as well, to your family, your health, your sadhana, everything. Balance it. Okay? Yes.
Thank you.
Mitra.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, how to balance between the health and the service?
Health first, service second.
Okay, Maharaj.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says health, sadhana, service. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Because if your health is not good, you can't do sadhana also properly. And what to speak of service. But that doesn't mean that in the name of health, you don't do any sadhana and any service because health is first. So we should not misinterpret this statement of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What it does mean is that priority should be given that if we are maintaining good health with reasonable time and effort and care, then we will be in a position to do our sadhana and seva also properly. So looking after your health is not Maya. Provided you do it in the proper way and you are not obsessed with it. The whole day only looking after health and doing nothing else. That also is not correct. Do whatever is reasonably required for your health. Do some basic yoga, some exercises, simple exercises, some walking, eat on time, sleep on time, basic health precautions we should take. Eat the right kind of food, prasadam. Even if it is prasadam, you must know what kind of diet suits your body. So you must take care of your health. And simultaneously do your sadhana nicely and also your seva. Okay, next question.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, who is speaking? I can't see.
Srinath Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. You have to see Maharaj?
Yes, I
Hare
can see.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, actually our constitutional position is we are part and parcel of personality of Godhead, that is Krishna. Right, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Just wanted to know why Krishna separated us and sent it to this material world, and again we are trying to find him and realizing our constitutional position. Why this God is doing this for all of us?
You know, I was talking to one Grihastha devotee some days ago who has a teenage son who is not listening to the parents. And he did something. He wanted to do something. The parents were saying, no, don't do it. It's very risky. You don't do this. But he still went and did it. He got into a big problem. He'll come back to his parents now. Okay. So the parents told, look, don't do. But he still did it. So what can the parents do? Especially when the child is like in the teens, not so young like a small baby or something. What to do? So similarly, we as living entities, we have become rebellious and we did not want to serve Krishna. Krishna is trying to tell us, look, this is not the way. If you want to be happy, you have to surrender to me and take shelter and engage in loving devotional service. But we said, no. So what can Krishna do as a loving parent? Okay, what can I say? And now it has been a long time for us in the material world. Now we have learnt our lessons. And very kindly, Krishna has brought us back to Krishna consciousness. So now we should take it seriously so that we go to the spiritual world. Whatever mistake we made in our, shall we say, neglect of Lord Krishna's instructions and love, now we should not make that mistake. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any other question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, and Vijaya here.
I can't see who is asking.
Vijaya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
It's me.
Hare Krishna.
How are you, Maharaj?
Nalarke. எப்படி
It's a
இருக்கீங்க?
pleasure. நல்லா இருக்கேன் Maharaj. Yeah, I'm also doing well.
My Tamil vocabulary ends here.
It's really a pleasure to meet you online, Maharaj. And you have always been very inspiring. As Pritam Prabhu said, your calmness really inspires us. And I go through your sessions, which comes in the Facebook constantly. So I get to hear you through that. And my thing is, Maharaj, I somewhere feel I'm somewhere stagnant in Krishna consciousness, not advancing as much. That keeps kind of coming back to me again and again. I don't know, sometimes I feel guilty. Sometimes I feel I'm not doing much enough. How do I overcome it? Little clueless. Just wanted your guidance in that.
Yes, this also is a natural phase that most devotees go through at some point, maybe more than once also. It happens, it is natural, it is not something to be unduly worried about. It just happens because we are so preoccupied with our life, our work, our family, our health, our life in overall in general. And we're just going through the motions. The struggle for existence is going on. And we are not able to find that much time and energy for Krishna conscious activities as we would have liked to. So because the struggle of existence can be a little taxing sometimes, and the opportunity for Krishna conscious association, service, etc., gets a little limited because of that. So, and we are unable to do something significant that we would like to do. So that kind of brings in that sense of stagnation, or that sense of a little bit of frustration that I want to do more, that restlessness, but I'm a little bit not making so much progress. So somehow or the other, if the time can be managed in such a way that you get involved in some missionary activity, in the sense of preaching or some service or something like that, over and above what you're doing now, keeping in mind your other responsibilities and your health and so on, then perhaps that may be of some help. Secondly, also try to chant your rounds better and do kirtan in the house, because the programs that are there in Vrindavan center, they happen once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe sometimes you can visit, but we need to do Krishna consciousness every day. So try to do your japa very nicely. If that one thing that you do properly, then everything else will come. That sense of stagnation will not come, and Krishna will find the way out for you also. So normally about japa, I say this thing: if you do this one thing right, everything else will be all right. So just focus on very strong japa. Sleep early in the night, wake up early in the morning, do very strong japa, nice japa, and hear. So let's say when you're cooking in the house, or you have some time, you're doing something else, taking prasadam, you can play some lectures, play some Vaishnava bhajans and kirtans. Like this, you feel enthused. And have some goals set for yourself, some spiritual goals. Those spiritual goals should be set with a practical bent of mind, in the sense that you should not make your goals so unrealistic that it is not possible to sustain. And then when you can't achieve the goals, then you may get disheartened or discouraged. So set some practical goals in your Krishna consciousness. And that will give you some excitement, some services to do, some little things you can do. It doesn't have to be very major. Just some small things that you need to accomplish. Let's say you want to learn 5 shlokas in the week. Just giving a random example. that you can do anytime. Even at your place of work, you can keep these little cards and keep it in a way where you can refer to them time to time. So that will give you a sense of accomplishment and a sense of a target or a goal to move ahead. So with this, you will not feel that sense of stagnation. Okay? Saria?
At Vijaya's life, I personally have been witnessing orchestrated by Lord, because um, in previously every year, New Year, we have this round robin where passing the parcel. So you need to pick up a chit, whichever the character that comes, you need to act, and till everyone will be able to identify. So for 3 consecutive years, in midst of the probability of picking it up from 100 chits, every time she got no punishment. 3 times consecutive years. The first year she got, second year she prayed that I don't want the punishment. And she picked it up and it came no punishment. Third year as well. And I don't want to, the fourth, very, very important. I would like to tell you personally in her life what has happened after she came to Mysore. It's very, very rare that that kind of, the Lord planning for her happens. So considering this is, I would like to share that episode personally with you. But personally, I've been seeing she has been very, very sincere over the years and highly academic. And she had that urge to come back, and Lord some other planned. And her husband also got transfer from his university to Mysore. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very, very nice. Happy to hear this and best wishes.
Thank you, Maharaj. It's all because of the association. And as you said, when I moved out of Mysore, is when I realized the association and its importance. And I know I spoke to you also when I was in Bangalore and when I was in Coimbatore, both the places. And you told me find a place near the temple. We made it a point to go every weekend to the temple. But the kind of association that we had already tasted at Radhakrishna Chandra Prabhu's place, we could not feel so satisfied and wanted to come back to Mysore and wanted this association badly to progress. So, and Krishna really blessed us because probably, as Prabhu always keeps saying, keep Krishna in the center and take decisions, and he will make the way for you. So, he only created this way to come, and very without any difficulty, without any obstacle. My husband also got a transfer. It was just like that. He dropped a mail for a transfer. He was telling me nothing will happen, but very nicely, his Swami, who's the in charge, called in Amrita and said, "You can go to Mysore and you can work from the Mysore campus." So.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is Lord Krishna reciprocating with the sincere devotional service.
So I feel that I should progress more in process of Krishna conscious, and I feel I was actually discussing with Divya Mataji that I want to do one day Aarti at home. Cannot do it every day, but at least one day in a week I will start doing Aarti and Kirtan at home. And very nicely you told me to set some goals which are very realistic. I will do that, Maharaj. So next time when we meet, probably I'll be able to tell you how I'm progressing much better.
Mika Rumai. Very nice, very nice. Best wishes. And best wishes to all of you as well. So is that okay, Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu?
Yes, Manoj. Thank you so much for coming, Manoj. So uh, I just wanted to ask you one last thing. You have been observing last 40 years about how the Devotee community is been growing all over the different places. They have a very good process in place, framework in place, and they have been adapted to that. And here, pretty much, it's happening or very informally things. Last time when I met Radha Gopinath Prabhu also in Chowpatty just 2 months back, he was telling about the work he has done in devotee care system. And, do you think something of that sort, which you also have helped in a long way to establish that all over in the different communities? Do you think we should try it out in Mysore and see how it goes? What do you think, Maharaj? How should we move about?
You mean in what respect exactly? What specifically?
So, in terms of having senior devotees who have been there for 7-8 years to take responsibility of fewer group of new people and
Yes.
nurture them, take care of them in a systematic way.
Yes. Yes, that point I made during the lecture also, that how devotees who have been around for some time should now start taking responsibility for those who come after them. So that kind of thing is very essential, it's very important. And you
Yeah,
can groups
yeah.
also, right?
Yeah. Till
Yeah.
today, it is not been happening in a very systematic way, very informally, unstructured way. It's happening. If you could, if you think we can implement something like that here, so that
There must be a structure. It's always very good to have a structure.
Yeah.
Especially now that the community is growing like this.
Sure, Maharaj. Sure. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Thank you all very much. And Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu and Divya Shakti Mataji, to you too in particular, for having taken so much anxiety and made so many sacrifices to start and sustain this nice, wonderful center at Vrindavan. So my best wishes to you both, and to Akinchana Vrinda also, and to all of you who have assembled here today. Please cooperate together nicely, serve as much as you can, take responsibilities so that everything can go on very nicely. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir. Maharaj ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.